Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster, and as you guys know, 2024 was such an amazing year for Star Wars The Black Series. We got some of the community's most wanted Black Series figures finally added to the line after many years of waiting. But now we're into 2025, and so today we're going to be talking about my top 10 most wanted Black Series figures for 2025. Now I will say I won't be covering like leaks and rumors on this list, just because we already know that we're more than likely going to be getting them added to the line, and so there's no point putting them on a wishlist video if we already know we're going to be getting them. But yeah, other than that, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Really quick though, we're really close to giving away this Black Series Clone 2-pack at 15,000 subscribers, and if you do want a chance to win, all you have to do is 1, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and 2, once we do hit 15k, I'll release a giveaway video, and all you have to do is comment on that giveaway video to enter. Coming in at the number 10th spot is a figure that I'm really surprised we don't have in the Black Series yet, and that is Lobot. Lobot is pretty iconic to the Empire Strikes Back, so it is really surprising that we don't have him in the Black Series yet, but it's one that I would really love to see. His design is pretty iconic to Star Wars, and of course he's just a classic OT character that we don't have in the line yet. I do think he would peg warm just a little bit, but I think it's still one that we really need added to the line, just because he's one of those classic OT characters that we just don't have yet, and I think he's iconic enough that he deserves a spot in the Black Series. At the number 9 spot, we're heading back to the Clone Wars, and that's because the number 9 spot is Rancor Battalion, and Rancor Battalion is actually a group of 3 characters, so not just one, but it's one that I think we desperately need into the Black Series. All 3 of these guys are really cool. We have a red, a blue, and a yellow ARC Trooper, and they're just pretty iconic when it comes to designs for ARC Troopers. And I do think it would just look amazing next to the Clone Wars figures we already have in the line. And plus the Black Series already has the ARC Trooper mold at their disposal, and they just haven't been using it as much as I think they could have been. There's tons of different ARC Trooper designs out there, especially 3 super cool ones like this, that they just haven't been making. And at this point, they're just easy repaints, and I don't see why Hasbro hasn't done them yet. The Vintage Collection already has all 3 of these guys, and they sold very well for the Vintage Collection, so I don't see any reason why they wouldn't sell great for the Black Series as well. So these guys definitely get a top 10 spot for me. At the number 8 spot, I have to give it to the different, paint schemes for the battle droids. This includes the commander, as well as the security officer, even the pilot. There's tons of different, paint schemes for battle droids, just like there's paint schemes for clone troopers, and we should be getting them in the line. We already have a pretty decent battle droid mold. Now, granted, it could definitely use an upgrade, but they do repaints for it all the time. We have, 3 separate Jedi Survivor repaints, and yet we don't have some of the basic droid repaints from the movies, like the pilot, the security droid, or even the commander, and so these are just no-brainer repaints for me. Like I said, we already have the mold, they can just repaint the mold they have, and it's just not even a ton of paint either. It's just little hints of yellow or blue or red here and there. I even think another one that would be cool would be the Geonosian commander, where we already have the Geonosian battle droid, but just put the yellow paint on it and re-release that. The Geonosian battles we have are great, and they need a commander, so give us the yellow version of that too. At the number 7 spot, I had to give it to basically the Umbara clone troopers, or essentially your named 501st troopers, so your Phase 2 Jesse, Kix, Hardcase, Dogma, Tup, those kind of characters. They are pretty dang cool when it comes to named clone troopers, and we get grunts all the time, we get commanders all the time, yet we don't really just get our standard named clone troopers, and it's something that Hasbro really needs to do more of. Like I said, we occasionally get the named commanders, but not the grunts, and so I think some of these named 501st troopers would do amazing, they would sell amazing, and plus we already have our named ARC troopers with 5s and Echo to go with them, so it's something that I really think Hasbro should consider making and bringing to the line. Number 6, I gave it to Queen Amidala, and this is just because it's easily Padme's most iconic outfit when it comes to Queen Amidala appearances. Obviously, there's the Episode 2 version, and we did get an Episode 1 version earlier this year, but this is easily the more noticeable Queen Amidala outfit, and it's one that we just surprisingly don't have in the line yet. I also think Hasbro really knocks it out of the park when it comes to figures like this that have these kind of extreme designs, and I think Hasbro would really do a good job when it comes to designing this figure. I think soft goods would be the best way to go, but I could see them doing a hard plastic as well. Either way though, this is one that I think that we do definitely need to come to the line just to kind of round out the Phantom Menace display. And if they could include the Naboo throne here too, that'd be amazing, but obviously that might be a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, this is one that I would really love to see come to the line. At the number 5 spot, I have to give it to Max Rebo. Max Rebo is such a cool, like, background alien, especially in like the Jabba's palace scenes there, but we did see him recently in Book of Boba Fett, which was great to see him come back to live action. But yeah, Max Rebo is super cool. We already have the Cantina band in the Black Series, and so it'd be great to get the Max Rebo band as well, just to go with more of your Jabba's palace display compared to your, say, Cantina display. So yeah, Max Rebo is definitely high up on the list, and again, I know I say this a lot, but Hasbro always knocks it out of the park when it comes to cool, like, humanoid aliens kind of like this. And even though Max Rebo is not exactly humanoid, he would still be such a cool figure to get in the line. So yeah, this one would be just a really cool one to get, not just because he's like more of an OT alien, but because of the world building that he brings with his like keyboard drum thing. I don't know what it is really, but it's just the world building aspect that comes with that too, and I think that'd be really cool to get. Coming in at number 4, I have to give it to Lord Starkiller. Starkiller is one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time. The games are some of the best video games ever made, not just Star Wars games, but best video games ever made. And so I obviously have to put Lord Starkiller on the list here. It was really great to get the standard version of Starkiller back last year, but I do think we need some different styles and outfits for him because he wears a ton in the game, and I think the most iconic of which has to be the Lord Starkiller outfit here. To be honest, I think this is what people think of when they hear Starkiller more than the normal outfit, and so I think this one is a little bit more iconic than just the normal Starkiller outfit to begin with. Yeah, they already have the mold for Starkiller. Obviously, there's probably some stuff that would need to be remade for this outfit, but I think it could easily be done, and I think it would be such a great addition to the line. Number 3 has to go to the Galactic Marine. Now, I know there is a rumor for a brand new Revenge of the Sith clone trooper coming to the line this year, but we don't know exactly what Revenge of the Sith clone it's going to be, and so since we don't know it's going to be a Galactic Marine, I had to put this one on the list because it's one of the ones I really, really want to come to the line. Obviously, we got Ki-Adi-Mundi last year, and we're getting Commander Bakara this year, which Commander Bakara was actually number 1 on my list before he was made, and so it's going to be super cool to get both of those figures in the line, and so we definitely need some Galactic Marines to go with them. We barely briefly even see the Galactic Marines in Revenge of the Sith, and they're one of my favorite Clone Trooper designs just because I'm a huge Snow Trooper fan, and the design is very reminiscent of the Snow Trooper. But I also just love the Clone Trooper design because I was able to play as the Galactic Marine in the original Battlefront 2 a lot, and it's just from playing that game that I really came to love the design. So I do hope they make a new mold for this, but I would absolutely love to see this one come to the Black Series. At the number 2 spot, it has to go to Kyle Katarn. Kyle Katarn is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars, and I don't think he gets enough credit because he's such a cool character. He is from like the Jedi Knight games and the Dark Forces games, and he's just so freaking cool. A Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is just one of my favorite games of all time, and so Kyle Katarn is such a cool character, and it's one that I think really needs to be made for the Black Series. We've been getting a lot of like KOTOR figures recently in the line, and those figures turned out great, and they sold really well for Hasbro as well, and so I have no doubt that Kyle Katarn would sell pretty well too, just because I 100% believe that the Jedi Knight games are way better games than the KOTOR games, which I know is very controversial, but it's just my personal opinion. I think the Jedi Knight games are way superior, and I just think Kyle Katarn is just a really good character, and it's one I'd really love to see come to the line. He's one of my favorite characters of all time, so yeah, he needs a Black Series figure. And then coming in at the number 1 spot, I have to give it to Commander Neo as my most wanted Black Series figure right now. If you guys watch the channel, you know I'm a massive Clone Trooper fan, and so I'd like to get as many clone commanders in the line as possible, and Commander Neo is the last clone commander that we need to finish off all of our like live action Revenge of the Sith clone commanders, and so I think he's one that is very, very important and definitely needs to be added to the Black Series, especially if we can get him on the like speeder bike here. I love when Hasbro does small vehicles like a BARC speeder, and so a BARC speeder with Commander Neo on it would be such an amazing addition to the line. More world building and more small vehicles like this are just great, and I do hope that Hasbro decides to do more of these small vehicles in the near future, and I guarantee you that a Commander Neo on a BARC speeder will sell like hotcakes. The clone fans out there will buy anything up as quick as possible, and so I know a Commander Neo would sell amazing, so it's easily got to be my number 1 most wanted Black Series figure going into 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my top 10 most wanted Black Series figures going into 2025. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to go down, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.